Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek. I'm sitting down with Frederick Condet from Red Joker, and you've brought us a nice hefty box of Oco Chronicles.
Yes, exactly. It was a Kickstarter that happens in November 2017. And we are about to finish the production and send it to the backers in the coming months.
So since this is a game with a lot of cool pieces, we wanted to do a bit of an unboxing. So
and it's just coming out of the factory. So it's a final product.
Oh, so this is not a prototype anymore.
No, it's not a prototype. It's a final product that people will receive at their home.
All right, well, let's take a look.
Okay. So
I was going to say, we've got a box in a box there.
Yeah, so we will make a little open the box video. So this is a display with all the miniatures of the core box.
There we go.
So we have the heroes, we have the all the Oni creatures, the guards, etc. We have the board, the corruption boards that will help the Oni players to increase the power of his characters. We have some nice tiles to make the boards. So this is, they are all, how do you say that?
Double-sided.
Double-sided, okay. Double-sided tiles. We managed to make a very, I lost my word, sorry. But this is very close to the medieval, Japanese medieval world. So you are immersed in the universe when you play on the board. We put a lot of details on the boards. And with the scenario, you have a lot of ways to construct your board with all these materials.
Well, just thematically, where are we? So medieval Japan?
Yeah, it's a game coming from a comic book, a French comic book. And in this comic book, we are talking, the comic book is talking about a group of demon hunters who are going around the world to hunt the evil creatures. So some players are playing the heroes of the comics. So this is them. You have Okko, that is the heroes of the story.
Right, here, I'm just going to flip these around.
Yeah. He has some fellow warriors coming with him. And each character has his set of cards. So we have the cards here. So this is a one card.
Ah, okay. So this would be specific to one character.
No, this is a general deck of one cards. This is for the Oni players, but each character has his indeed its own set of cards, like this one.
Okay. So were you able to get a lot of the artwork from the comic book series?
Yeah, we have a lot of artwork from the comic books, and the gameplay is similar to my previous game that was Okko Chronicles. So we managed to adapt a bit of the gameplay to the world. We increased the quality of the miniatures, but we are in a common ground. We know we have the same way of managing the characters, in fact. So this is the set of Noburo, one of the main characters of the story. This is a card from Okko. We have 4 characters in the box. Yeah. With a lot of artwork.
Yeah.
Les poilus, armistice, stand 01.07, solidarité et jeu, stand 1.11, atelier Félix, notre classe, stand A15. Bonne journée.
Keep going.
Okay, so this is Okko, the deck of cards of Okko, and so on. We have 4 characters like that. One can summon some creature from the elements. So this is the air. We have the fire. We have because he's some kind of mage that relative to the story. This is him who can summon character, and we can play that in the game. So each character has his specification, its own abilities, and you have to collaborate between players to fight the evil player, in fact.
Now, being since obviously this comes with a lot of miniatures, but
Yeah.
you also have a pretty substantial organizer
Yeah,
for all
in
the
the
other
box.
components here. So that's just standard. That.
Yeah, that matches the standard of the game, so yeah, we have.
But the reason I say what's standard and maybe what's not is you've got a whole bunch of really amazing pieces to the side here.
It was a Kickstarter, so we had some expansion that we released, and we have here on CAD some samples of the coming miniature of the expansions. So this is the expansion on the Bunraku, because in this universe we have some big samurai robots that can be played in the game. So you can see the size compared to the human miniatures. We have some new demon, very ugly demon, and coming from some ogres that hit very hard. So. We have new heroes too, like this one.
You can see everybody.
This is some character that can be played by the Oni players, and they manage to drive those machines. Okay. But all is explained in the game. So this is a bunch of miniature you can find in the expansion. There is some others, but you have a good example here.
Now, just in case people are not familiar with your previous Chronicles game, how would you describe sort of the main mechanics that drive the game? You know, it's mostly card-based.
Yeah, it's card-based, and you have, of course, tiles and miniatures, and you have a deck of cards. In fact, we have a group of players that will play together against one other player that will manage the evil forces of the game. So each character has a deck and a deck of action cards that can be played around the. You have the around around the character sheet of the. You have a deck. I will show it. Maybe it will be better. Okay, so you have a deck of cards. Ah, yeah.
Votre attention, le petit Hugo Barcelon, 7 ans, attend sa maman au point d'accueil de la zone en famille.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay.
We go again.
Yeah. So there's a deck of cards that goes with this character. Why don't you just kind of lay it out for us so we can get an idea of what like Oko's deck looks like?
Okay, so here's his character sheet, and we have some action cards. Here. Each character has his own cards. And those cards represent some kind of action the heroes can make. So Oko is a fighter, a Ronin. So he has some attacks cards, attacks powers, but also some, as he's a leader, he has some cooperative cards that will help his companions. And each character has a weakness cards. Each turn you have to play cards, and at the end of the turn you discard them. So you have to play all your cards to get back your discard piles. So you have to play the weakness card at some point. Okay, so you have to manage with other players to play the weakness cards at the right time and not help the Oni players to kill all your.
Now, is this a game of scenarios, or is there a campaign?
Yeah. Sorry, it's a game based on a comic book. So we have a scenario book in the box. So this is the rule books and the scenario books. So we have in the core box we have 10 scenarios with different kind of difficulties, and in general you have to. The tiles represent a palace, a place where the evil is, and you come in with your group of demon hunters to fight the evil players. Okay, so you have to investigate in the place with. You have all the tokens.
I
here.
do have all of the
There is a
things.
lot of material. Sorry, but in the place you have some characters. And you have to investigate to find behind which one there is Oni, the big master demon. Okay, and when you have find it, you have to fight it.
Now, what languages is this available in, or going to be available
Yeah,
in?
on the campaign it was in French and English. So we have a lot of backers who are waiting for it in English and in French. So for now, this is the two language we have done. And it's not me who make the translation. Okay, so in fact, during the game, you have to to investigate around the place to find who is the demon, who is corrupted characters. But also we have a lot of other special rules, other secondary missions to make very various scenarios. Some scenarios can make a campaign, some are tutorials, some can be played just by themselves. So and we try to make each scenario very different from each other. So in the core box you have 10 scenarios. In each expansion you have like 6 scenarios. So you have hours of play.
Oh, so in many ways, a lot in one box.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to check that out, that is a very quick review and sampling of Oco Chronicles. And Frederick, thank you so much for letting us take a look.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.